Okay, so we're back with lesson F, and we are in Unit 4, lesson F, and we are on page 52. Okay, so let's answer our questions here. According to our chart, right, our medical history form that Eva Hernandez filled out, Eva does not take, so she doesn't take, I put down vitamin D. Okay, she doesn't, according to her chart, or her form, she does not take vitamin D. Number 3, in the past, Eva has had, I wrote down, I chose D, high cholesterol. All right. And number 4 is, in the past, Eva has not had, all right, and I chose C, heart disease. All right, because she, according to her form, she has not had heart disease. So she's there because of allergies. She does not take vitamin D, and she has had high cholesterol, but she has not had heart disease. All right. So hopefully we have the same answers. Let's move on. Let's turn the page 53. All right. Now we're going to answer these sets of questions here. Number 2, look at the pictures. Complete the indirect commands. Okay. So this picture is, it looks like a doctor talking to a patient. All right. And the doctor says, don't eat sweets between meals. And then he tells the patient, try to get more exercise. All right. So number 1 is done for us. Dr. Chang told Harry Johnson not to eat sweets between meals. So now we have to finish number 2 through 4, and then actually we need to go ahead and do 2 through 8 on this page. Okay? So let's pause the video and do 2 through 8, and then we'll come back and I'll share my answers with you. Okay, so let's continue on here and answer these questions. The first one is done for us. Dr. Chang told Harry Johnson not to eat sweets between meals. He also, I wrote, so we have this section down here. He also told him to get more exercise. Right? He also told him to get more exercise. The second picture here, so it's like some parents waving and talking to their son. And the mother tells him, take your vitamins. And the father says, don't stay out late every night. All right. So number 3, Alex's mother told him, I wrote down, to take his vitamins. His father, I wrote down, told him not to stay out late every night. Okay. So we had some indirect commands here. All right. Let's move on. All right. So it looks like a teacher is standing in front of the room and she's talking to students. Don't stay up late studying for the test. She also says, eat a good breakfast in the morning. So number 5 says, Miss Bailey told the class not to stay up late studying for the test. Okay. And then number 6, she also told them to eat a good breakfast in the morning. Okay. In the last picture here, we have two people talking, two women talking. One woman says to the other, use mint leaves to make iced tea. And then she tells her, don't put too much sugar in it. Okay? So, number 7 says, Magda told Helen to use mint leaves to make iced tea. Then she told her not to put too much sugar in it. Okay? Okay, so that's what I've got for 5 through 8. All right, so hopefully you got the same, and we match up. If not, please let me know, and if you have some questions or have trouble with this, let me know, and we'll talk about it in our Zoom class, in our Zoom meetings, or you can email me, or we can talk it through on WhatsApp. All right. So we have completed our review for Unit 4, which is health, which specifically we were talking about healthy habits and routines. Okay, and these are some of the vocabulary words and phrases that we've used in this section. All right, and this is for the whole section. So even the ones that we didn't actually cover here in the video, you should have covered, worked on lessons D and E, reading and writing, on your own. And in doing that, you'll find some of the words and phrases that you'll see here that we'll go over. All right, so let's make sure that we can pronounce these correctly. All right. So the first word is advice, diet, exercise, pressure, tired, weight. Okay. Here are some phrases for us. Check your weight. Drink a lot of soda. Eat a lot of hamburgers. Eat breakfast. Eat fish. Gain 20 pounds. Go to bed late. Ride a bicycle. Here are some more words we learned. Healthy. Medication. Be. Eat. Gain. Give. Go. Start. Digest. Digestion. Herbal. Prevent. Treat. Treatment. Okay, so we've learned all those words during our time in Unit 4. All right, healthy habits and routines. Next, we're going to move into Unit 5 and learn about what we're going to review in Unit 5, starting with Lesson A. All right, so that'll be our next big challenge. Lesson 5, review. All right, so we are now into Lesson 5 review, and we're going to start in Lesson A. All right, so Unit 5 review, Lesson A. And we're going to be talking about around town. More specifically, community events. All right, so if you remember, if we turn over to page 58 in our student book, Hopefully you will remember what we were talking about when we're talking about around town. So we have two parents, Wen and Mei, and they have a son, Chen, and they want to do something for the weekend, right? They want to plan out their weekend. So one of the things that they could do is go to a concert in the park. They could go to a museum. They could go to, I think it was Botanical Gardens here, a garden. Or they could go to the library for story time. Okay, so they were discussing what kind of things can they do for the weekend around town. All right, so let's dive into what we learned here. And let's open up our workbook to page 54. All right. So in page 54, let's start with number 1. Excuse me, number 1. Read the ads. Match the ads with the sentences. So before we do the match the ads with the sentences, let's look at the ads to make sure we understand what we're looking at. Okay, so A is an ad for exciting new exhibit, photographs from the deep, and this is at the Science Museum. B is an ad for country music concert in Smith Park, and it looks like it's 6 p.m. on Friday, and it looks like it's free. C is storytelling for children, and this is going to be at the Castle Hill Public Library every Sunday at 4 p.m. And then the last one is an ad, D is an ad for mystery walking tour, and it says meet at the Fairview Gardens Saturdays 5 p.m. All right, so that makes sense. Let's go down the page here. So the questions, so it says match the ads with the sentences, actually. So the first one is done for us. Rick and Becky can't afford to spend a lot on entertainment. Okay, they cannot afford to spend a lot on entertainment. So what's the best place for them to go? The best ad for them to read would be B, country music concert in Smith Park at 6 p.m. on Friday. And the reason is because it's free. They don't have to spend any money. All right. So let's look at number 2. Bill and Margie want to get some exercise and be outside. All right. Now they could go to the park and go to the, that's outside, right? Go to the park outside and go to the music concert. Maybe they can dance a little bit. But there's also something else they can do. All right. Because B is already taken. So let's look at D, mystery walking tour. So we know that this is walking. Okay, and it's they meet at the fairground gardens. So usually the gardens are usually outside. So for number 2, I chose D, mystery walking tour. Let's look at number 3. Maria's daughter loves books. This one is pretty easy. Number C, letter C, right? Storytelling for children. Castle Hill Public Library. So we know it's for children, it's storytelling, and it's a place where they have books. Number 4, the weather is bad, so Lynn wants to do something interesting indoors, inside. Okay, so of course that's A. That's going to be at the Science Museum, photographs from the deep. Okay, so that's what I got. And hopefully you got the same. Okay. All right, so let's move on. Number 2, complete the sentences. All right. Now, before we complete the sentences, let's make sure that we understand how to pronounce the words in our word box here. All right. So the first word is admission. Admission. Afford. Afford. Concerts. Concerts. Events. Events. Exhibits. Exhibits. Storytelling. Storytelling. Okay? So now that we know how to pronounce these words, let's plug them into, let's complete the sentences and plug them into our sentences here. All right? So the first one is done for us. We usually check the newspaper for community events. Events. Okay? So now let's pause the video and complete 2 through 6. All right? And then we'll come back and I'll share my answers with you. All right, and hopefully we got them both correct. All right, so let's pause the video now. Okay, so let's continue on here. Number 2, I love music. I like going to rock blank. I said concerts. I love music. I like going to rock concerts. Number 3, we don't have any money. We can't blank expensive tickets. I wrote down afford. Afford. We don't have any money. We can't afford expensive tickets. Number 4, the garden tour is free. There is no blank fee. I chose admission. Admission. The garden tour is free. There is no admission fee. Number 5, my children love stories. They love listening to blank at the library. I chose storytelling. Storytelling. My children love stories. They love listening to storytelling at the library. And then number 6, my wife loves art. She often goes to art blank. I chose exhibits. Exhibits. My wife loves art. She often goes to art exhibits. All right, so those are my answers. Hopefully we matched up and we got the same thing. Let's move on and go to page 55. Okay, so on page 55, we have number 3. Read and circle the correct answers, then listen. Okay, so what we have to do here is read this conversation between Yan and Lynn, these two ladies here in the picture. All right. We can also scan this barcode. I made it a little bit larger here just in case you can't see it or it doesn't scan correctly. But you can scan this barcode to listen to their conversation. Okay? So let's take some time to listen to their conversation and to read their conversation. Okay? And then we're going to circle the correct answers to the questions that follow. Okay? So let's pause the video, let's listen and read the conversation, and then we'll come back and answer some questions. Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance to read the conversation between Yan and Lynn, and hopefully you've also been able to listen to it. Okay, so let's look at our questions. Okay, the first one is done for us. Yan and Lynn are planning their weekend. Okay. Number 2, they are going to go to, I chose C, an art exhibit and a concert. Number 3. First, Yan and Lin will, I chose D, meet at an art museum. Number 4. The museum opens at, I chose B, 10 o'clock a.m. Number 5. Which statement is true? I chose B. There is no admission for the concert. And then number 6. Yan and Lin will spend, I chose C. They will spend some money on food. Okay? So those are my answers, and hopefully you got the same. Let's look at number 4. Number 4. What are Leo and Noriko going to do? Listen and check. Okay? So now would be a good time to pause the video, scan the barcode here, and listen to the conversation between Leo and Noriko. Okay? Or Noriko. And then we'll come back and we'll answer these questions. Alright? So let's pause the video and listen to that conversation now. Okay, so the question is, what are Leo and Noriko going to do? Go to the movie? No, I don't think they can go to the movie. They don't have enough money. Go to a museum? Yes, they can go to a museum. Go out for dinner? Again, they don't have any money for that, so they cannot go out for dinner. Go out for coffee? That is something that they can afford, okay? So yes, so my answers are go to a museum and go out for coffee. Alright? So hopefully we got the same answers. If not, let's scan, take some time to scan the barcode again and listen to the conversation. Alright? Alright, so let's move on.